At a reunion lunch, my birth mom hugged me and asked, "Did the education trust I set up cover all your college fees?" I stared at her in complete confusion. What education trust? Across the table, my adoptive parents exchanged a nervous glance. "Your college trust fund, sweetheart." My birth mom reached for my hand. "I set it up when you were born and have been adding to it ever since." I shook my head, worried that she was scammed. "I think you're remembering wrong. I never got anything." My birth mom's face went from confused to concerned. "No, honey, I have everything right here." She spread bank statements across the table, all adding up to 100,000 Kiara. "So you wouldn't work 3 jobs like I did." The numbers started to blur as my hands trembled. I thought about the heart medication I gave up just to afford rent, trying to stretch $10 for 1 week of food. "I lived on rice and soup packets," my birth mom said quietly, "sending that money so you'd never know that hunger." I still didn't believe her. A part of me didn't want to. But that's when she said the line that still shows up in my nightmares. "See these withdrawal slips? Your adoptive mom signed it off every time. Did you not know about it?" I turned to my adoptive parents. Margaret clutched her pearl necklace like it was the answer to all her problems. Richard stared at the reflection in his knife. "You stole my education fund." The words came out flat, emotionless. "I raised you," Margaret said, voice barely audible. "I deserved what?" I slammed my hand on the table. "I sold plasma twice a week until my veins collapsed. Spent every night dumpster diving for things to resell. Ate the cafeteria's thrown out food every night." My birth mom gasped. "You did what?" "3 jobs," I continued, voice shaking. "Slept in my car between shifts, while you bragged about your sacrifice raising me." I slowly turned to my adoptive father. "When I collapsed from starvation, you told me to stop making excuses for myself and work harder." Dad finally spoke. "We were going to tell you eventually." "When?" I screamed. "And you spent 23 years making me hate her." I pointed at my birth mom. "Every birthday it was always, 'Your birth mom didn't even send a card.'" "We were doing our best," Margaret started. "Every Christmas," I cut her off. "It was always, 'Thank goodness we took you in. She didn't want you.' Remember that, Dad? Your favorite line?" Richard's jaw tightened. My birth mom made a sound like she'd been punched. "I grew up thinking I was unwanted trash. You made me feel like I was unwanted trash." My voice cracked. "When my roommate found me after I overdosed in sophomore year, you made me pay you back for the 911 call, all while cashing checks from the mother you made me hate." The silence was deafening. "She loved me," I whispered, staring at the deposits. "And you made me hate her for it." My birth mom spoke up, voice cold. "I cried myself to sleep for 23 years thinking I was doing the right thing, but I abandoned my baby for nothing." But I couldn't even focus on her pain, because my mind had already gone somewhere darker. "Remember when you insisted that I use my body to pay bills?" My voice dropped to a whisper. Margaret's face flushed. "We didn't know any better. Junior year, you sat me down and told me every girl was doing it these days, that I was sitting on a gold mine." My birth mom's hand flew to her mouth. I couldn't look at anyone. The shame still crawled under my skin like insects. 8 months of degrading myself online. When Alex found out, I swallowed hard. He couldn't even look at me. Said I disgusted him. "You made good money," Richard muttered. The room went silent. Even he realized what he'd just admitted. "Yeah," I said slowly. "I made $1,000 in 8 months destroying my soul. You withdrew $12,000 that same semester." Margaret opened her mouth. No words came. "You pimped out your own daughter while sitting on a fortune." That's when I pulled up the withdrawal history and started comparing dates. Each withdrawal lined up perfectly with when she'd gotten her plastic procedures done. January 15th, 2019, $15,000. That's when you got your mommy makeover. March 2020, $8,000. Your Brazilian butt lift. My voice was rising. September 2021, $12,000. Facial reconstruction. Each date burned into my memory. "I begged you for $500 for my meal plan that same month. You said money was tight. You don't understand the societal pressure." "Pressure?" My birth mom already had her phone out. "I'm calling my lawyer." Margaret stood up, grabbing her purse. "You can't prove anything. Every transaction is documented," my birth mom said coldly. My chest started tightening, the familiar squeeze of stress-induced arrhythmia. "We're going to the hospital," my birth mom said, standing. "Then the police station." Dad was frantically texting under the table. I caught a glimpse. "Get the other files out of the house now." "Other files? Did you steal from the other adopted kids too?" Margaret was already heading for the door. Full story on channel, link below.